Welcome to my new channel. My name's Aisha. I'm a proud season ticket holder at Arsenal. Been there for 15 years and just thought, you know what? I've always got opinions and I've always got things I want to say. So why not do it on YouTube? Because loads of other people do. Was at the game yesterday, 2-0 against Wolves. A really physical game. Wolves are not an easy team, and we know that they're always going to be physical. Well, I wasn't quite expecting it to be so physical, and I equally wasn't expecting it to be as controversial as it was. Going to the game yesterday, there was a really nice feeling. It reminded me quite a lot of the last game of the season. I was so happy to be back. I know we had the Euros and I know England got in the final and all that jazz, but it's not Arsenal, is it, guys? And it's not our club. So to get back to the Emirates felt really, really nice. The atmosphere coming down. I always get off the train and walk from Angel. Some people think I'm mad, but I kind of like it. And always going past like Highbury and Islington Station. I know at Finsbury Park as well, they were doing, they had some live bands. There were just people out drinking. Sun was shining. It was a really lovely atmosphere. And unlike the last game of the season, there was the optimism of what we can do. I think we tried to keep the faith last game of the season that City would muck up some way, but we knew that they weren't going to do it. So it was just about getting behind the team, which we did. And it was just a really, really great experience yesterday, as it was, the last game of the season, really. Always emotional when you get in there. I've been going since I was 6. In fact, that brings me really nice on to one of the things that the club did yesterday, which I thought was really lovely, and that was show a tribute to Kevin Campbell. I've been, like I said, I've been going since I was a small child with my dad. I'm now 41, and I still go with my dad, and I go with my mum, and I go with my brother, and just chanting Super Kev, and the fact that he's, people had requested that it wasn't a minute silence; it was a proper tribute to him. People were clapping. I'm pretty sure that the first game I ever went to, he scored. So it was quite emotional for me. And because he died in June, I don't know, it just kind of took for granted maybe the time had passed to do something. Obviously not. I'm so glad that the club didn't do that. I'm so glad that the club actually decided that we were going to mark this moment, even though it was like 2 months after his passing, because he's a legend and he should be remembered forever. And the tributes that were coming out for him were absolutely incredible. First 20 minutes of the game, I thought we were quite nervous. Obviously, Havertz scored. I always love to see Havertz score because I always remember them clips on Instagram where people, Chelsea fans, going on about how they robbed it, they done us over because they got 60 million for us and all this stuff. And then we all know the story, right? We all know what's come out of that. He genuinely loves. He loves scoring. He loves playing. You can see he is a player reborn. I've heard that one as well before. So really, really happy to see that with him. The match, I didn't think we were quite there yet. I thought that there was still some coming into the own, and I thought that they were definitely quite tired, because so many of them had been they'd been at the Euros, and of course the England players had been there, like Saka and Rice had been there for longer. So it was, and then we had the pre-season friendly, so they're still finding their momentum. The one player I was massively impressed with, though, was Zinchenko. I actually thought that he really did try. I mean, he seems to be given a new lease of life, new number. He still does, though. I still don't think he can play a full 90 minutes. There was definitely a real change and a twist when Timber come on in place of him, which you did see a little bit of a flare. Maybe they might start to do with Zinchenko and Timber what they've been doing with Trossard and Martinelli. That works quite nice up the front when he's a bit like a super sub. I really love Trossard. He's one of my favorite players. I have a bit of a soft spot for him, just because he just is a player that does seem to come and do the business, and I think that's really important. One thing that did annoy me, though, I watched the Chelsea City game today, and I felt that it was really unfair that Chelsea and City game was the same scoreline as ours, and actually near enough minute to minute there was we scored roughly the same time. In fact, I believe Bukayo Saka scored 10 minutes before the second goal for City today. Yet we were struggling, but they were cruising. I mean, it's just the narrative. We've heard it. All we got to keep doing, though, Gunners, is keep winning all our games, keep our heads down, keep focused. At the end of the day, no matter what charges they get, if we hadn't dropped points last season, we would have won the league. So we need to just keep with that belief, keep behind the team, keep believing in that. But you can't talk about yesterday's game without, sadly, talking about the controversy that happened on the pitch with Kai Havertz and obviously Gabriel Jesus at the hands of the exact same player. Now, I'm going to show you two different articles to start with, because I think this is really important. Language is the key. Just been talking about how the narrative is very different for when Arsenal get a 2-0 win to when City get a 2-0 win. This is exactly the same sort of thing between articles about quite serious things. Now, I've been going to the Emirates now, like I said, had my season ticket for 15 years. I've never, ever had any male member of our fan base mistreat me. I've always had the most respectful people sit around me that treat me like any other one of the supporters, a lad, if you want. Let's just say that for argument's sake. So why should it be any different when we are reporting about incidents where with men and also with celebrities or sports personalities? And just because it's in the moment of a game doesn't mean it should be treated any differently. So look at the wording here. I'd like to also add that this article is written by a woman, okay, which I think in itself is not very right. Arsenal furious as Wolves star pins Kai Havertz's throat before grabbing Gabriel Jesus' bum. The word bum, right? I don't think the word bum makes it sound as serious as it actually is. Mosquera did more than that. His behaviour towards Havertz could have been deemed as being quite threatening. In all fairness, look, the only parts of your bodies that probably really should come into contact in football is your feet, right? There's no reason for all of this grabby, touchy-feely business that is going on. You saw it yesterday as well, by the way, with Saka, a couple of players physically grabbing him as they was tackling him. I've noticed over the last couple of seasons, people getting very physical to him as well, going for his legs. He's a young guy. He's, one injury could finish his career. And what an absolute travesty that would be, as it would be for any other player. But looking at the wording of this, I actually think the wording of this is totally appalling. And it wasn't just as simple as that either. The whole word bum just makes me feel like it's, I don't know, like it's just not being taken very seriously at all. But if I now show you, oh, by the way, it took me a while to actually get what I want to show you that isn't using the same sort of language. I actually found an article by Sport Bible. Whatever you might think about Sports Bible, I actually thought this one was so much better written than what I had seen with, The Mirror, which is a mainstream newspaper. So fans battle. Let me start again. Fans baffled at how Wolves player stayed on pitch after what he did during Arsenal game. So much better wording. Arsenal fans were left stunned as Wolves defender Yerson Mosquera being allowed to stay on the pitch against their side after two bizarre incidents. Arsenal won 2-0 against Gary O'Neill's side to kick off their season in the perfect fashion at the Emirates Stadium. Even down to that is totally different to the narrative I was hearing Gary Neville and his friends talking about today. Kai Havertz opened the scoring with a header from Bukayo Saka's cross, assist by Saka as well. I think I saw a stat today that by the age of 23, Ronaldo had only given 77 assists, where Saka had given 84. I mean, hats off this kid. I love this kid. He's incredible. So glad he's homegrown talent. Want to keep him for all of his career. Don't ever want to let him go. He is amazing. So before the same duo combined in reverse order to give the Gunners an unassailable 2-goal advantage. The place went mad at the second goal. And of course, like I said, the place went mad with Havertz's goal as well. It was the ideal start for a side that missed out the Premier League title by just 2 points to Man City last season and will fancy their chances of another title challenge this term. 100% true. But the opening weekend could have been even more comfortable had one of Wolves' players been sent off after two bizarre incidents. After a spot of grappling between Mosquera and Havertz in the second half, the Wolves defender pulled the German down to the ground before grabbing him by the neck. It was appalling. It went on not far from where I sit in the North Bank, and the incident was checked by VAR. Now, I can be honest with you, I do not remember that incident being checked by VAR at all. And if that was done, that was very, very quickly. And they said that there was no red card. There wasn't even a yellow, I don't believe. Then on the 88 minutes, Mosquera grabbed Gabriel Jesus by the backside, with the Arsenal staff furiously reacting by shoving his opponent over. And the fans couldn't believe that he wasn't sent off for the two offences combined. These are the two incidents below, as you can see. I'm going to leave that picture there. I'm going to leave that to settle in. Obviously, it's a bit uncomfortable. I'm apologise to anybody. It definitely is not the nicest of images. The top one is a definite grope, everybody. If somebody had done that to a supporter of the Emirates, they would have been banned for life. So why is he not just getting a sending off? It's absolutely appalling. In no way, shape or form. The bottom one as well, if that was done in the street, that's an arrestable offence. Why is this not even being deemed a red card? I don't want to say because it's Arsenal, because actually I don't know if that is necessarily the case. However, I will say if this had happened to Haaland or one of the other Man City players, I'm sure there would have been some very, serious conversations, if not giving of cards in that game. Let's face it, everybody. There was one or two, I think it was two VAR decisions in the City-Chelsea game today, but I didn't see a single one at the Emirates. If there was, please correct me, guys, because I don't remember it. Really not the best way to start the season in regards to that sort of side of it. There's always going to be controversies in the matches, normally involved with goal decisions, offside, whatever. You don't really ever expect it to be things like that. That image with Jesus, I would have got upset by that as well. I think that's blatantly overstepping your boundary. What have you got to touch there for? There is absolutely no reason you have got to do that. Anyway, rant over. This is, like I said, it's really excited to be doing this. If you have anything you want me to discuss, always pop it in the comments below. Please like and subscribe to the channel. I really want to get this to be a fan community and get as many of you involved. I'd love to be able to do things like interview outside the games. I mean, get some of you on here to interview. I love listening, talking to Arsenal fans. I love your opinions. I'm not always going to be right, and a lot of the time I will change my opinion if someone gives me a really good reason to. I will be doing things like watch alongs when I'm not there, when I'm away games. This is as much your channel as it is mine. You can follow me on Twitter at Lambeth Walk 2211, and you can also catch me over on Instagram at The Teaching Historian. I am a history teacher, and I have got some really interesting stuff coming up with the history of Arsenal Football Club as well, so please stay tuned. But other than that, it's been really great talking to you guys, even though I'm kind of talking to myself. Please carry on following the channel, and I hope to see you all around soon. So thank you, everyone, and go on.